So today we're going to learn about how to graph parabolas. So there are three possible ways to graph parabolas, but the first thing before graphing is describing the transformations. As previously learned, we learned how to describe transformation by identifying the A, H, and K value. Here, as you can see, the A value is positive, so you know it's going to open. So it opens up. Also, the A value is more than 1, which you know that it's going to be vertically stretched by factor 2. So vertically stretched by factor 2. And since we're done identifying the A value, we're going to go to the H value. So as you can see, you know the H value is -9, but when it's a negative, you automatically in your brain should know that this is going to be a positive. So it's going to be horizontally translated to the right 2 units, 9 units. Since we're done identifying the H value, we're going to go to the K value. Remember, the K value always tells us whether the parabola is going to be up or down. And since this is positive, you're going to know the K value is going to be up. So when describing, it's going to be vertically translated. Always use the word translated because it's proper math terminology. Up 5 units. So learning from this will tell you how your graph would look, because if you have this reference down, when you graph it, you will know whether you have done this correct or not correct. But the second part of how to graph parabolas. For the second part of mapping notation, the second part of graphing parabolas is mapping notation. In mapping notation, there's several steps that we have to do to know how to graph it. So the first step is to write the mapping formula. The second step is to complete a table of values with the key points for the base function, which is y equals x squared. Step 3 is the transform key point. That's another table of values of the new key points. And 4 is the base function, so we have to sketch the base function of the parabola and sketch the new graph. So the first step is mapping formula. Mapping the formula, the equation is x plus h and ay plus k. So we have to convert this equation to this. So it's going to be x, this is x. So you know it's -9. The opposite of -9 is +9. A we have here is 2, so it's going to be 2y, because y is here, plus 8. So here we have our mapping formula. So now we're going to do the second step, which is writing the table of values of the sketched key points. So the table of values of the sketched key points, so table of values. Y equals x. Okay, so the mapping formula was x plus 9, x plus 9, 2y plus 8. So this is going to be a mapping formula. So we don't really have to use a mapping formula for the table of values to sketch the base parabola of yx squared, because x and then y equals x squared. So we can use any x values, which is going to be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So 4, 1, 0, 1, 4. So this is our table of values for y equals x squared. So now we're going to do the table of values of the new transformed key points. And the table of values of y equals x squared is a big part of completing the table of values of the new key points. So it's going to be x here. And here we're going to write our formula, which is 2 equals x minus 9 squared plus 8. So now we're going to use this formula to find out the points for this graph. Here we have is, so remember that this equation goes with this, and this part always goes with this. So to find the x point of the new transformed key points, all you're going to do is -2, and you're going to sub it plus 9, because you need to sub in x, and these are the x's, and then you have to plus 9. So the first x value is going to be 7, and you do this for the following blank spaces for the values of x. So it's going to be -1 plus 9, which is going to give us 8. 0 plus 9 is 9. 1 plus 9 is going to be 10, and then 2 plus 9 is going to give us 11. So since we've completed these spaces for x, we're going to continue on with y. So we're going to use these y values to sub in for the y here to find out the y value, so we can sketch our graph. So what we're going to do is 2 times 4, because you're going to sub in 4 here. So to make it more clear, we're going to sub 4 plus 8, and it's going to equal, so 2 times 4 is 8, so 8 plus 8 is going to equal 16. So same thing goes here, 2 times 1 plus 8 equals, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 8, which is going to give us 10. Same thing here, so 2 times 0 plus 8 equals 8, because 2 times 0 is just going to cancel out, so it's just going to be remainder 8. 2 times 1 plus 8, so 2 times 1 is 2 plus 8 is 10, and then for the last value it's going to be 2 times 4 plus 8, which is going to give us 16. So here we have our points for the new table of values for the key points. Now what we're going to do is sketch our graph. So let's just erase the table of values. Okay, just cancel it. So the fourth part of graphing parabolas is now graphing it. So since we have our two table values of y equals x squared, so this is just our original parabola, and now this is a new parabola, and we're going to graph both of them. So first we're going to graph y equals x squared. So this is just like our foundation parabola. So the x value is -2. So -2, not like this. It'll be -2 and 4. So the point is going to be here. So this graph is not actually lined properly. This is just like estimated guess, but so -1 and 1, 0 and 0, 1 and 1, 2 and 4. As you can see here, these points are basically the opposites. So like one on the negative side, one on the positive side. Always make sure that there's 5 points when you're graphing parabola. You can even have more, but usually when you're graphing parabolas, always have 5 points. So now we're going to graph our new parabola, so the new transform parabola. So the x value is -7, 7 by 16. So we're going to go over here. Second point is +8 to 10. So over here. Our third point is 9 and 8. The 9 and the 8 is basically our vertex, because from here it's -9, but you know when you say negative, it's going to be a positive. So it'd be +9 and 8. And you know the k value is 8, because when we did just describing the transformations, we knew that the parabola is going to be vertically translated up 8 units. So here we are. Our fourth point is 10 and 10. Our last point is 11 and 16. So right here. 11 and 16. So this is going to be our new transformed parabola. Here you can see this is the y equals x squared. Always remember to label your graphs so that whoever is looking at this graph would know which is the basic graph and which one is the new transformed graph. So y equals 2x minus 9 squared plus 8. So remember to always first describe the transformations of the equation to know, because when you're graphing this, you know you've graphed it correct by gathering the information that you've done for the first step and bringing it back to the fourth step. So this is how to graph parabolas. And the fifth step is graphing the new transformed parabolas. So like 4 and 5 are basically the same thing, because 4 is graphing the y equals x squared one, and the fifth step is graphing the new transformed parabola. So this is how you graph parabolas.